Welcome to the Sarcopenia Synergy Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to dive deep into the evidence-based science of defending our bodies against physical decline. We often think of aging as this inevitable passive process where we just slowly lose our strength and mobility over time. But what if the science tells an entirely different story? Let's jump right in and see how we can literally engineer our own physical resilience.
So, it's the ultimate question, right? Can we actually reverse the clock on aging? While we can't exactly stop time, the clinical evidence shows we possess incredibly powerful, proactive tools to maintain our independence and vitality well into our later years. Today, we're framing this whole explainer around the actionable steps you can take to stop playing defense with your health and start playing offense. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the threat of sarcopenia, look at why exercise alone actually fails, discuss fueling the body, prescribing the right exercise, the role of the gut microbiome, and finally, wrap it up with our ultimate synergy strategy.
Section 1. The threat of sarcopenia, our age-related enemy.
To truly understand this enemy, we need to clearly define what happens if we do absolutely nothing. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass, strength, and physical function. You see, the World Health Organization defines healthy aging not just as living a longer life, but as developing and maintaining the functional capacity that actually enables well-being. Sarcopenia is the exact thing that actively steals that functional capacity away, literally threatening our independence.
And a huge, kind of hidden driver behind that muscle loss is malnutrition. Just think about this staggering statistic for a second. Up to 2/3, that's 66%, of hospitalized older adults suffer from malnutrition. Now, this isn't just about being underfed. It's about being undernourished. Malnutrition severely makes the negative effects of aging worse, accelerating that sarcopenia, increasing frailty, and drastically raising mortality rates. It literally shortens lifespans because it's actively destroying muscle mass.
Moving right into Section 2, why exercise alone fails, or the mystery of the non-responder.
Think of your body like a giant construction site. Exercise? Well, that's the brilliant architect sending instructions to build a stronger structure. But your nutrition? That provides the actual physical bricks. This dynamic solves a massive mystery in the clinical world, the non-responder. These are folks who exercise diligently but see absolutely zero results. Why? Because they just lack the nutritional foundation to build upon. An exercise responder gets better because they have adequate fuel and baseline health. A non-responder fails to improve because they're dealing with underlying malnutrition, protein deficiency, or chronic low-grade inflammation. Basically, you can't build a house out of blueprints alone. You absolutely need the bricks.
All right, Section 3, fueling the body, looking at those essential nutritional bricks.
So the absolutely crucial number to remember is 1.0 to 1.2. Clinical guidelines recommend an absolute minimum intake of 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for older adults. This is your daily baseline just to preserve the muscle mass you already have. And get this, if you're dealing with malnutrition or a chronic disease, that requirement can jump all the way up to 2.0 grams. Hitting this target is simply non-negotiable if you want to maintain functional health.
Beyond just hitting that protein goal, here's what the evidence tells us about essential dietary habits. First, limit sugary drinks. They're basically just empty calories that drive up insulin resistance. Instead, you're going to want to swap in nuts, seeds, and fatty fish like salmon, which are just loaded with anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. Also, avoid ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. These things are literally engineered to make you overeat while giving you zero real nutrition. Oh, and here's a fun one. Don't fear your coffee. Science actually shows that 3 to 4 cups a day is linked to longevity and a reduced risk of diseases like type 2 diabetes. Pretty great, right?
Now let's talk about how this all builds into your lifestyle and recovery. You absolutely have to prioritize quality sleep, because poor sleep completely throws off your appetite hormones, leading to dangerous weight gain. To help with that, try avoiding bright blue lights from screens right before bed. That protects your natural melatonin production. Also, stay adequately hydrated. Skip the heavily charred meats since they contain harmful compounds, and make sure your vitamin D levels are good while eating plenty of prebiotic-rich fruits and veggies. All these habits work together to create the perfect biological environment for your body to respond to exercise.
Section 4, prescribing the right exercise, or the architect's specific plan.
So what specific physical signals do we actually need to send our muscles?
Well, here is the exact blueprint laid out by the World Health Organization. Step 1, aim for 150 to 300 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every single week. Step 2, you've got to include muscle strengthening activities at least 2 days a week, making sure to hit all those major muscle groups. And step 3, for older adults, add in varied, multi-component physical activity, stuff like balance and coordination work, 3 days a week. It's not just about going for a casual stroll, it's a very specific, structured prescription.
And why does this specific prescription matter so much? Well, because combining strength and aerobic exercise yields the absolute greatest reduction in all-cause mortality. It literally keeps you alive longer. But here's the really shocking part. Across various studies, only about 20 to 60% of adults actually hit these targets. We have the blueprint right in front of us, but most of us just aren't following it.
Moving into Section 5, the gut microbiome connection, our microscopic bridge.
Now, before we fully merge diet and exercise, we have to look at this fascinating microscopic bridge happening right inside your digestive tract. A healthy dietary pattern like the Mediterranean diet provides prebiotic fiber and polyphenols that literally feed your beneficial gut bacteria. At the exact same time, physical exercise actively modifies that gut microbiome to improve metabolic outcomes, like how your body regulates glucose. So diet and exercise are actually working together from the inside out to optimize your overall physical resilience.
And finally, Section 6, the ultimate synergy strategy, where diet formally meets exercise. Let's map all this clinical data out into some truly actionable strategies using a clinical matrix. If you're battling sarcopenia, you need progressive resistance training paired with up to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram, maybe even adding whey or creatine. If the issue is malnutrition, it's a bit different. Lower intensity resistance paired with a high-calorie, super protein-rich diet. Dealing with frailty, you're going to need multi-component exercise, so balance and aerobic work, fueled by adequate protein, vitamin D, and anti-inflammatory omega-3s. The exercise is matched perfectly to the nutrition.
And this synergy extends even further. To prevent falls, you prescribe balance exercises like Tai Chi, but you absolutely must pair it with vitamin D and calcium for bone health. To protect cognitive function, you pair aerobic exercise with cognitive tasks, all fueled by omega-3s, antioxidants, and B vitamins. Even for obesity, it's a combination of moderate aerobic and resistance training combined with a hypocaloric diet that strictly preserves your protein intake. That way you're losing fat, not precious muscle.
This brings us to our core thesis for today. The clinical research clearly states combining exercise and tailored nutritional strategies offers significant potential to enhance health and well-being in older adults. When it comes to healthy aging, 1 + 1 truly equals 3. You can't just exercise and you can't just eat well. They have to operate in total, absolute synergy.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. And I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to evaluate your own daily routine. Are you giving your body the right architectural instructions through exercise, but forgetting to provide the physical nutritional building blocks it needs to thrive? Take a really hard look at your protein intake, your exercise variety, and your recovery habits, because the power to age with resilience is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible science, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.